Hi there, welcome to this exciting sewing tutorial. Today, I'm going to show you a super beautiful design that I think you're really going to love. But first, don't forget to turn on the subtitles or choose a voiceover in your own language from the settings, so you can enjoy the video even more. Are you ready? Let's get started. I'll be sharing some important tips during the video, like which fabrics you should use, how much fabric you'll need, and the perfect length for this dress. Plus, I'll reveal which body shapes and sizes this dress looks amazing on. Don't miss any part of the video. These tips might be just what you've been looking for. To determine the height of your pattern, mark your desired dress length directly on the pattern. Then, for the width, you'll need 1/4 of your bust or hip measurement, whichever is larger based on your body shape. Since we're only drafting half of the body, use half of your measurements to build the pattern. I'd love to know where you're watching this video from. Leave me a comment and tell me your city, your country, or even just where you're sewing today. It really makes my day hearing from you. CSISI comments truck. Now we're going to use the basic bodice pattern I already taught in a previous video. I'll leave the link right up here. Make sure to check it out later. Customize that basic pattern with your own measurements because we're going to use it to design so many beautiful styles together. This style is commonly known as a ruched off-shoulder bodycon dress. In the fashion world, it's known for its romantic, feminine, and playful vibe, a fabulous choice for summer dates, beach vacations, or even a casual brunch with friends. At this stage, feel free to customize the bust coverage and shaping to suit your comfort and style. Whether you prefer more coverage or a more fitted look, it's totally up to you. Now, just like me, use a multi-purpose pattern ruler to shape this underbust dart along the muscle line. It'll help the fit look much better and more natural. This dress is incredibly versatile for special occasions, evening parties, birthdays or anniversaries, semi-formal and formal events, date nights or city outings. It can even be worn as a summer party dress if made with a lighter fabric. Don't forget to draw the hip line on the other side of the pattern as well. We'll be using it later, and it helps keep everything symmetrical and accurate. To keep the waistline even with the front and back and avoid sagging at the sides, we mark the side seam 1.5 centimeters higher. Now, instead of raising the side, I want to move this 1.5 centimeters into the side bust dart for a better bust fit. This dress features an off-shoulder Bardot-style neckline that beautifully reveals the shoulders. The bodice is fitted and often cup-shaped to enhance the body's natural curves, and in some designs, it's reinforced with boning for better structure and support. Bust point area on your pattern shouldn't be sharp or pointy. It needs a nice soft curve. After smoothing it out, don't forget to mark the balance point on both pattern panels. And when you cut your fabric, make a small notch at that mark. It'll really help you line things up easily when sewing. Did you use my pattern making method to create your own custom pattern and sew your dress? I'd really love to hear your thoughts. How did the fit turn out using the Garra-France method? Leave me a comment. Your feedback truly means a lot to me, and it also helps others see whether the Garra-France method works well or not. They're little marks or notches that help you match up different pieces of your pattern correctly when you're sewing. These points make sure everything lines up nicely and your garment fits perfectly. We removed the underbust dart from the bodice pattern, so now we also need to eliminate the waist dart from the skirt to match the new design. spacing between each pleat is about 1 to 1.5 centimeters. The original design has 6 pleats, but I decided to go with 8 for a more elegant look. Just remember, adding a bit of creativity to your pattern making can make your design truly stand out. Now, on the side panel of the skirt, divide the space from the waistline to the hip line into the same number of sections as the pleats you marked. This helps the pleats follow the body shape more naturally and gives a better fit. Want to learn more tutorials? I've shared a special playlist for you in the pinned comment. Definitely go take a look. Now I'm marking a slit length of 18 centimeters from the last pleat. This reaches about mid-thigh from the waistline, but it's totally up to your preference. You can adjust the length based on the style you like. This dress is a midi slim-fit style with a high front slit. The length typically falls around mid-calf, and the front slit extends up to just above the knee. The standard length for this style is about 115 to 125 centimeters, measured from the top of the bust to the hem. But feel free to adjust it based on your height and personal preference. To draft the back pattern of this dress, first mark your desired length on the pattern after determining the height. Next, for the width, take 1/4 of your bust or hip measurement, whichever is larger based on your body shape, and mark it on the pattern. Since we are drafting only half of the body, the pattern is created using half of your body measurements. Because this design is symmetrical, the pattern is initially drafted in a straight or pencil shape. For the back pattern, we don't need the upper part of the bodice. So I copy the pattern starting from the armhole baseline downward and continue the markings from there. Unfortunately, this part of the video was accidentally cut during editing. To ensure the dress fits smoothly at the lower back without extra fabric, like you see in the photo, we add a horizontal dart along the waistline. The depth of this dart depends on the curve of your lower back and your body shape, so the dress fits perfectly and lays flat without wrinkles. Then, connect the points of the vertical dart that we previously copied to complete the adjustment. This style works well for most body shapes, but it's especially suitable for hourglass. It's very figure flattering and accentuates the waist beautifully. Pear shape. With puff sleeves and an open neckline, it draws attention to the upper body. Rectangle. The gathers and waist shaping add volume and curves. Apple shape. If made from a non-clingy fabric, it works perfectly. Sizing ranges from XS to 2XL are fully achievable. But for larger sizes, you might need boning, interfacing, or lining to enhance the shape and provide better support on the body. The back of the dress features a 40-centimeter invisible zipper. In this design, the waist darts are converted into small gathers, but you can also design it without gathers. I remove the vertical darts from both the bodice and skirt patterns to keep the dress free of gathers and more fitted. Since the front skirt pattern will naturally add some volume to the back as well, you'll see how it balances out in the next steps. How's the tutorial so far? If you found it helpful and enjoyed it, please leave a comment so I can get a better idea of your taste and create future tutorials based on what you like. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next ones. Here, each pleat is given a width of 2.5 centimeters, and we mark it on the pattern accordingly. Make sure the panels are placed tightly together at the side seams of the skirt with no gaps between them. If there's any space left between the panels, the dress will become loose and ill-fitting in that area. First, fold the pleats on the pattern and then make the final cutting, especially for curved lines. When you fold the pleats after cutting, the line will be cut in a stepped, not smooth manner. If you don't do this, the pleats won't sit properly in their place when sewing, and there will be little room for overlapping. Be sure to pay close attention to this important detail when cutting the fabric as well. If you watched my previous tutorial, I mentioned that the shorter the dart height, the more ease there is at the bottom of the skirt. This applies to this design as well, so you should consider a 2 cm space between each pleat. Up to this stage of the pattern, you can have the dress as a straight cut with a slit. But if you want it exactly like this model, with less ease at the bottom of the skirt, I reduce 5 centimeters from both the front and back pattern pieces at the hem. Don't worry about it becoming too tight at the bottom, because this design features a slit that is cut in a curved shape. The skirt is a pencil style with a long slit, which helps with easy movement and gives the dress a more feminine look. This is the exact extra space that I mentioned appears at the back of the skirt. Now you can either add gathers, pleats, or close the dart in the garment. Make a notch here to indicate that it should be aligned with the side seam of the bodice during sewing. sleeves are double-layered puff sleeves that sit blouse-like on the upper arm. They're typically gathered using elastic or an inner drawstring. I'm going to show you a super easy method for drafting a circle skirt. It's the one I always use. For this sleeve style, first divide your upper arm measurement by 2. Then, using a measuring tape, place that number diagonally on your pattern, just like I'm doing here. Watch where that measurement creates a semicircle on the pattern. When you work this way, your eyes get used to measurements, and eventually, your eyes start to see like a tape measure. And that's a really important skill in sewing, being able to eyeball measurements without needing tools. Just between us, 2 important tips. I shared a lot of sewing tricks for free again. If you haven't subscribed yet, you're really missing out because I'm going to teach you many more valuable tips, things I've learned over more than 30 years of sewing experience. Come on, so make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next tutorials. And share this video with your friends so they can learn too. Let's make sewing easy and fun together. Which types of fabrics can be used to sew this dress? To achieve a fitted, well-shaped, yet comfortable look, these fabrics work great. Stretch rayon, rayon spandex, the best choice for a body-hugging fit. Heavy jersey or ponte roma, if you want a slightly heavier and more formal feel. Stretch viscose or lightweight lycra, for a relaxed, everyday style. Polyester blends with elasting to maintain shape and comfort in the garment. The fabric must have good stretch because the dress is form-fitting and won't sit well without elasticity. The approximate fabric length for this dress depends on the size and the desired length, but on average, sizes XS to L between 1.75 to 2.25 meters. Sizes XL to 2XL between 2.5 to 3 meters. If you plan to use patterned fabric like polka dots, it's better to buy an extra ½ meter to ensure proper pattern matching. Each sleeve layer is sewn separately, and then the armhole edges are joined together with elastic. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, when designing the sleeve, first add about 6 to 7 centimeters to your arm circumference, then divide it by 2. This way, you'll have enough ease to comfortably wear the sleeve. What do you want the next tutorial to be? Drop me a comment or send me a DM on Instagram with your favorite style. Also, I've shared another tutorial next that I'm sure you'll love. I'm looking forward to your comments and suggestions so we can create the best together.